Hey guys, it's Saturday afternoon today, and I have an unexpected project that I need to work on. I went to one of the local hardware stores here yesterday because they had their bucket sale. Basically, they give you a free 5-gallon bucket, and whatever you can fit inside that, they give you 15% off on, which seems like a pretty good deal for the things that never seem to go on sale. So I stopped over there. And when I got back to my car, I noticed that there's a big scratch on the side. Looks like somebody hit me in the parking lot, so I saved $5 on a few things that I bought over there, and now I have to spend $20 just in materials to get this thing improved. I'll show you what I mean over here. This car isn't particularly valuable, but just kind of pisses me off that there's this big gouge in the side of it now, just because I went to the store to save a few bucks. I guess it could have happened anywhere, but I don't know how well this shows up. Alright, this shows a little bit. Look, the scratch is just a little bit better. You can see that there's an area from about here up around out to here, plus a little smudge over here, but and this one really deep scratch that would require repainting to get out. But I'm going to see what I can do to improve this situation at minimal cost, because I'm sure not going to try to repaint this thing. Part of the problem is that the car is 20 years old, and the paint is more faded on top than it is in the bottom. So the further up you go, the lighter it gets, and the further down you go, the darker it gets. So there's really no way to match that. It's very difficult to blend, but I'll see what I can do with this. I have a piece of 1500 grit wet dry sandpaper soaking in this bucket. I prefer to use 2000, but this is what I have on hand. You can't get everything locally here, it's just a small town. And spray a bottle of mild soapy water. So I'm going to take that to the car's finish now, which is always kind of scary, and see what I can do. Well, I sanded for about 2 minutes and ended up with this result. A nasty rough spot on the paint that looks lighter colored than the rest, all scuffed up. It only took me a couple of minutes to do that much damage, so 1500 grit may not have been such a wise choice, but I don't really see any scratches in it anymore except for this big one here that might try to touch that up a little bit with paint and buff it back in, but that'll never be right again. So the next step that I'm going to do is, it's just a little small spot, so I'm going to try this little 5-inch pad on an electric drill with some polishing compound. I'll take that to it and see if I can bring it back to a shine. It turns out this little $5 kit that I bought is completely worthless. The wool pad is synthetic wool, and I couldn't get the arbor on the drill to stay straight. It wanted to wobble all over. So I ended up just doing it by hand, first with this pad, and then with the foam pad. And it's not too bad. This is the factory finish. This is the finish that I had polished up, and back to factory. So I think if I put some polish and wax on this, after a little bit more touch up with that wool pad, I think it'll look alright. Everything except this scratch, which needs paint. If I get closer, maybe you can see it. I also kind of burned through the clear coat here, a little bit around it, so I think I'll just put on some single stage enamel paint right on that little spot, and see if I can improve it at least a little bit before I finish up this area. Forgot to mention the mess I made. I got the compound all over this thing, so I'm gonna have to wash the car off. There's a nasty rust spot that I need to fix. But anyway, well, I put that foam pad on my DA to try to get rid of some swirl marks, and I think this is where I'm going to stop. But this is kind of the end result. It doesn't look too bad. It's not quite as good as the original finish, but I think it'll look alright. I did put some paint on here. That scratch doesn't look all that good, even with the paint, because I didn't blend anything in. but I guess it's better than what it was, slightly. The next thing I did is polish the car, or just this one panel anyway, with this particular polish. I'm sure there's others that work, but I've been using this for 10 years and it always works great. And you only have to do it once or twice a year, so I like that. But this is, I think, the final result. After this, I'm just going to take it outside and wash it, but I don't know how well this shows up on camera. Here's some of the factory finish over here. Here's the other door, kind of as a reference. And the panel that I just worked on, except for that one deep gouge, actually looks better than the original finish. The orange peel is gone. There's some light swirl marks, but the rest of the car has those too, so it's not really unmatching that way. But overall it worked out pretty well. Try a different angle here. You can see the fluorescent light reflection from the ceiling. Here's some of the original finish. Over here, this is the where the scratches used to be, right in here. So now I just have to wash this thing and I'll call it good. Thanks for watching.